Hey everyone, Ben here and welcome to the grid at Oulton Park for a 15-minute TCR race, and honestly, this is one of the best sessions I've had all season. But we're starting from last on the grid as the green lights go, and we are now going to have to try and make our way through the traffic because unfortunately I messed up my qualifying laps. Ended up with off tracks. It's pretty strict here at Oulton Park. We've already down the outside of the Audi of Campe, and we've got Limonier and Mantle up ahead. Now you've got to be really careful coming down the hill here. Got to stick to your line. I'm going to hug the curb. There's one car off to the right hand side. Oh, but look at that. Limonier comes across. It felt as if he was returning to the inside line. He must have felt he was clear. We can see it now on the replay cam. Oh, on one level it looks a bit like a punt, but on the other hand I'm not really sure where I could put my car. But I've got to focus my eyes up ahead on track as two cars getting it wrong through the left hand kink as we get into the hairpin here at Oulton Park. Big accidents there, particularly the car off to the right hand side. That will be some major repairs. So at this stage of the race then, having started 15th, I'm now up into 10th position and 0.9 seconds behind Benacci in 9th. So I've got to get back up onto the rear wing of the cars up ahead, and then I'll be right in the fight for a strong top 10 finish here. So all is definitely not lost after a poor qualifying. Just by being careful through the opening set of corners and no doubt getting just a little bit of luck, I was able to pick my way through and actually get back up into contention. Another driver off to the right hand side. That looks like it's Doazan off on the grass verge there. It looked like he'd maybe made contact with the wall as well. I was thinking about mounting an attack on Benacci towards the end of this opening lap. We may very well get him across the start finish line here, as it looks like I've got a better exit from the corner, sneaking down his inside, but actually it turns out that Benacci had the most momentum coming off the corner. I'm going to stick to the inside here just to see if I can maybe frighten him offline. But he holds the move around the outside of the corner there, and I'm going to now have to settle in behind him. But look, I'm only 0.3 seconds behind, and there's a gaggle of cars just up the road as well, so I've got a real chance here of making more progress up into the top 10. Really tricky opening section to this race because it's sunset. We're getting ready for night time here at Oulton Park. The track is stone cold, so very easy to misjudge the levels of grip, to end up either understeering or letting the rear slide. So you'll notice I'm going into some of these corners a gear lower than you might otherwise, as I'm just hoping that slowly but surely the car comes up to temperature and I can get a bit more confidence in the grip levels available. That's probably why we saw so many incidents on that opening lap. You can see though, I've closed right in on the rear wing of Benacci here, also in the Honda, 0.1 seconds behind there as we come through the very fast right hand kink. You really don't want to be making an overtake through that corner, not room for two cars. So it's just about staying within contention really towards the final corner of the lap. That is one of the best overtaking spots, so a run through this corner that's clean and maximises exit speed is absolutely vital, and it looks like I've gotten that compared to Benacci up ahead. A shape to the inside. He doesn't defend the inside line, but he has gone deep on the brakes. That's going to allow me to get down his inside up onto the curbing, and that is the position gained, and that will be me up into 8th position. But it looks like I might have a chance of attacking Dominic Beck straight away down into T1. I'm going to have the inside line. He was caught out on the start finish straight, I think, by Alves up ahead, but look at that. Beck holds the move around the outside, and actually I was slower on exit. Look in my rear view, Benacci fancies a move straight back past as well, down through the left-hander, tricky downhill, and you've got to just feather the car through the corner, try and maintain a good line to then get a good exit. I am all over the rear wing of Beck here, shaping to the inside, but I don't fancy like going too wide through that very fast left-hand kink either. It would have required Beck to give me more space than it looked like he was going to, so I thought better of it, got back out of that move and took in behind him once again, just a couple of tenths further back. But it looks like I might be able to close in the draft just a little bit as we go all the way down this back straight. But it wouldn't actually be until lap 4 that I was able to really mount a proper overtaking attempt. But before that, Thiago Alves would get it all wrong through that tricky left-hander that I was talking about. just on the previous lap. He then would slide off into the grass, so that's one more position gained. Look at how close I am to Beck here, coming down the back straight again. Just no room to get past on this narrow Oulton Park circuit. He's sliding the rear end through the left-hand kink there. I'm going to have to just tuck back in and then hopefully launch myself off the hairpin and maybe have a go down the back straight. Still 0.2 seconds behind and 0.6 seconds back to Alessio Bonacci, so he is staying in touch. And then you've got Campe, another couple of tenths further back, but look at this, we may very well have an opportunity down into the right hand, but again just not close enough. You really need to be all the way alongside, if not a little bit further ahead, in order to secure a move there. But we've stuck very nice and close to Beck here as we come up the hill through the left-hander and then get the car down into third gear. Still, I'm not confident enough to run it through in fourth. I want to prioritise a really good exit, and that's what we get. You can see he carried just a little bit too much speed in. He had to get on the brakes mid-corner, and that's going to give me the chance to get past into this final turn, get the car nicely hooked in over the crest of the hill, and then get ready to start another lap here, and we will be up into 7th position. We're still relatively early in this race, not yet at half race distance, as we pass a back mark on the right hand side, and I've lost it. Heading into T1, the back end very nearly got away from me there. It meant that I had to come right off the gas, and that is going to put me back under pressure from Beck. Once again, he's around the outside. I hug to the inside. That's going to compromise me on exit. Oh, I'm a little bit all over the place here. Running out wide, he is going to have way more momentum than I have down this straight, and look at that, he's coming to the inside. He's going to be all the way alongside. Very brave on the inside. He relies on me giving him enough room, which in the end I do, because the last thing I want to do is get involved in an accident. So he bullies his way past. Very good move, taking advantage of my mistake at the beginning of that lap, and I'm right the way back where I was on the previous lap. We've dropped back down then into 7th position, and I'm going to have to do it all again. You can see though, I do have very good momentum down this back straight. Beck thinks about running a defensive line, but I'm not really close enough to necessitate that, so he holds the position through the right hand kink. You can see in my rear view mirror Campe and Bonacci going at it side by side up the hill, but I've got my eyes forward to see what's going on with Dominic Beck here. Can I make a similar move that I managed on the previous lap? Once again, prioritise the early on the power exit, and you can see Beck made the same mistake as he did the lap before, carrying too much speed into the corner, and that is going to allow me to get past even before we're into the braking zone. And once again then, I can think about consolidating 6th position. Let's have a look at that on the replay then. This is me running wide down the first straight of the lap, and that's going to put Beck in a brilliant position to get down my inside, and he holds it very brave. It does rely on me giving him space, but that's what I did, and that allowed us both to survive that move. You can see the battle behind me raging as well, but then towards the end of the lap, here I am reclaiming that position into the final corner. We rejoined the live action then on lap 7, and I've slowly but surely been reeling in Alex Krushka up ahead in 5th position. Remember, I'm running 6th now, having started in 15th at the very back of the grid. So this race has gone very, very well so far, but we're now into the final third. We're getting into proper nighttime now. The sun has well and truly set, and I fancy making one more position up. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to catch up with Daniele Barge up in 4th position, but as we close in on the braking zone of the final corner then and head on to lap 8, you can see the gap now less than half a second to Krushka up ahead. So can I make up one more position? He is car number 2, so he's got a decent iRating. It won't be straightforward at all as we get a good line through the first corner. He ran it out wide, and look at that, we're going to be closing right in, but there's nowhere for me to go down the inside. He defends that very, very nicely, pushes me to the outside. I'm going to try and take the high line through the corner. While he's running defensive, that should give me a better exit, and we're down the straight then, looking to come to the inside. He blocks me off to that side, but then he returns to the racing line. That's a little bit naughty. That's more than one move heading down the straight. That could have ended up in a very big accident. I'm not sure that he was deliberately blocking in as much as trying to get back on the racing line for that kink, but still, that could have been very nasty if I hadn't anticipated it. You should try and just maintain a single movement on that kind of racing scenario. But never mind, we're going to try and get past him anyway into the second half of this lap. Once again, he's moving around down the straight. That really is very distracting and not great sportsmanship really, but we're going to get through that right-hander. We both survive it. He's actually made a little bit of a gap up because I'm just now a little bit apprehensive in the cockpit as to what to expect really. We're coming through the crucial double right-hander, which you need a good exit from. Krushka is flashing his lights. That's towards Lemonnier up ahead, who is a back marker now and is on his outlap from having been in pit lane. Krushka trying to make sure that Lemonnier sees us coming and doesn't get involved in our race. Clearly very anxious not to lose time, but he's lost a bunch of time anyway. Through the final corner we get a much better run. I'm on the outside into T1, looking to make a move here, but it's going to be very difficult to do anything around the outside, so I try the switchback and look at the extra momentum we get out the corner. We're all the way alongside, we're even a nose ahead heading down the hill. He gives me plenty of space on the outside, and then I'm going to have to try another switchback because he had the inside line covered off. He's got well ahead of us there through the corner, but again, look at the exit speed we managed to get. I'm going to shape to the inside, but there's just not room there. He cuts back across to the racing line to defend in any case, but look at this, into the hairpin. We get later on the brakes again, trying around the outside, just trying anything I can to get some space and get around him, or possibly spook him off the racing line to try and squeeze on through at a track where it's notoriously difficult to overtake. But look at the exit speed that we've got from the corner here on Krushka. We're going to be all the way alongside as we start coming down the hill, down the back straight, and in fact we're ahead into the braking zone, and that will be the move done. Credit to Krushka there that he didn't fight it unreasonably given I was already heading to the braking zone. Let's take a look on the replay then at some of that battling as we were trying to take 5th place from Alex Krushka there. Brilliant side-by-side running, despite the fact that there was a bit of weaving going on down the straights and I was a little bit unhappy about it at the time. I've got to say actually the quality of this racing, going side by side through multiple corners and then ultimately managing to squeeze past, was really, really good. So fair play to Krushka for that, even if I took a little bit of exception of him moving around a lot on the straights. We're side by side through the hairpin there then and just couldn't find a way through, but then eventually I had the momentum on corner exit to then blast past on the straight, and you'll see how close I was to not being far enough ahead to get past Krushka there, but in the end we managed to make the move count and we rejoin the live action then at the very final corner of the final lap, 10th lap of the race, and we've come home in a fantastic P5, and I hope you agree, but wasn't that racing just awesome? What a great car track combination. Really, really enjoyed battling in the field there with Krushka, with Benacci, with Beck. Really, really good battles on track. I definitely encourage you to give this combination a try if you own the content. And if you enjoyed this race, then you will absolutely love the race that's up on screen at the moment. Check it out, it's another fantastic session, and I will see you on the next one.